Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Abbotsford Small Business. I am your host, Rick Holland, and you can find us at abbotsfordsmallbusiness.com. I hope that's a catchy little phrase because I'm going to be putting out a lot of podcasts, both now and in the new year, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun. As you can see, I am wearing my Christmas tie. Actually, it doesn't even have to be a Christmas tie, it's just red. So I'm wearing a red tie, and I'm wearing a green shirt, and I look like a 185-pound Christmas ornament. The wife says, just stay next to the tree. I said, yeah, how long? For the entire Christmas season. A couple of things that I want to address on this show today, gifts for the loved ones in your family. Now, we have we have members of our family that own a Corvette, a black Corvette. And you can go to Canadian Tire and get these wonderful wireless mice. I mean, come on, in the shape of a black Corvette. The headlights, actually, come on. They're wireless mice. They take a little battery. Come on, it's a guy thing. Who is not going to fall in love with that, especially if he owns a Corvette? Our other son owns a Ford Cobra, but this is what we've got him, a Shelby GT500. Oh, yes. I mean, you cannot go wrong. $39.99 down at Canadian Tire. Go get some. They are just, I want one. But me being a podcaster, see, most guys have a man cave. I have a broadcast studio. Most guys have a beautiful shelving system where they keep all their tools all aligned. I have 2 server cabinets. Most guys have a refrigerator in their man cave for the beverages. I have a new microphone. I mean, I'm different. Podcasters are different. So now that we've covered a couple of little Christmas gifts. Oh, don't forget about handy pocket cams as well. This is the Votto. And a couple of years ago, I think 2 Christmases ago now, we gave our son and daughter-in-law one of these. And they were a little over $100. Got it online. But I would say, now that we're doing this podcast show, I would encourage you to support local businesses within the Abbotsford area. Now, I just recently went to the Christmas show with my wife. And you're not going to believe the stuff they had. They had the 2 delightful young ladies. You know, being a podcaster has its certain perks. I have one of the greatest jobs in the world. I go up and then I introduce myself and I say, hey, I'm a biz tech podcaster. That means I interview people that have businesses and find out what they're using technically in their business to grow their business, or just interview them for the business sake. I mean, so they're growing their business. How are you doing it? Share some tips and tricks. And there was 2 young ladies behind the counter selling peanut butter. But this isn't some ordinary peanut butter. It is called monkey butter. And do you believe they had 6 flavors, and I bought the white chocolate raspberry peanut butter, but they had a peanut butter there with bacon that was just delicious. I mean, I could have spent $150 on peanut butter there, but my wife got to my credit card as it was smoldering. She got it before I could, say, hey, let's go another round of this peanut butter. Because everything to me is interesting. Got to do a podcast, so I got to have lots of peanut butter. You know this, right? Oh, don't forget my other podcast about the iTouch gloves. Find them at www.theitouchgloves.com. Delightful lady. She sells these gloves that will work through the glove material, and you can work your iPad or iPhone or even any kind of a capacitive screen like a smartphone. You can use them right through the gloved material. They put little sensors in there, and then it makes an electrical contact. How many times have you heard the phone and you've got gloves on and you're, oh my gosh, oh no, it won't swipe? It's because you got a glove on. Okay, so you know what I've decided to do? This blog is about Abbotsford. I love living in Abbotsford. We've lived in Abbotsford for over 14 years, about 15 years now, I think. And I am dedicated to getting out there and talking to people that have small and medium-sized businesses and say, what do you do? How do you do it? And showing them how easy it is to blog and podcast about their company. Because if you don't have a visual representation or a video to show what happens inside your company, nobody knows, do they? And blogging and podcasting about your company can really give you a distinct advantage because it will show people the stuff that other businesses don't show on the internet. So what I've decided to do here is this. I have in front of me the newspaper, The Times, and it is now December 6th, right? And this says December 1st. Yes, I'm a little bit late. But there were some interesting things in this newspaper, and this is what I'm going to do. This newspaper is a small to medium-sized business, right? Right. So it only makes sense that I would like to give them a plug and help them out. And what I'll do is every once in a while, or this may be commonplace in the podcast show, I'll take one of these newspapers and I'll go through it to see a good luck story or a happy story or a supportive story that specifically targets small and medium-sized businesses. And anything interesting that I find in here, I'll let you know. For example, I got 3 of them right off the top of my head. It didn't take long to see it. The front page QR code. Now, I don't know if you can see down here, it's a QR code. Originally, QR codes were made for the purpose of the auto industry, the auto parts industry in Japan. Did you know that? And they would come down an assembly line and scanners would scan it and say, oh, this part belongs to this and da-da-da-da. And it caught on in North America. Now, over in Silicon Valley, where all the tech happens, it caught on, and then it kind of, what they consider is, it died off. It didn't really catch on as much as it wanted to. But that's Silicon Valley. That's not Abbotsford. QR codes are everywhere, and I think they're great. If you take your camera, your smartphone, and get any kind of a QR barcode reader and just click on that, it will take you to a website. Brilliant. Now, did you know that modern-day museums have revised how they're using QR codes? So say, for example, you want to go on a trip to Germany or Poland or wherever you want to go. And there's a museum in there, and it has some beautiful artistry or a background or a painting or whatever it has. And you would like to know more about it in your language. Well, now what museums are doing is they're putting up big QR codes. You can take a picture of it, and it will read back to you in your language. That is brilliant. So there's a really good use for QR codes. As a matter of fact, if it's important enough to put a QR code on the front of this page of this newspaper, it's got to be working, right? Tell me something. How many of you use QR codes? Did you know that if you own an Android device, here you go, there is what they call a QR code generator, and for free, you can go on the web, design your own QR code, and it feeds back to your website. So, I'm thinking, if you have a business card, say there's a business card right here. Oh yes, this was the entrepreneur that I really like, Sylvia Tischler. All right, say her business card is blank at the back. Put a QR code back there, and take it to your website. I think QR codes are just starting to realize their value. So let's go on. The second thing I want to point out to you is A7 P3. Oh, no kidding. So let's go here. Now, this is interesting. All right. This is not tech, but this is human interest story with Abbotsford. Outgoing Atebi takes one last stab at changing P3 funds. I voted in the P3 debacle. And I'm going to call it a debacle because I don't know if you were aware, but Abbotsford residents voted 73% against P3. And I think what they were worried about, I did a podcast on this too, I think that what they were concerned about is this. If you open our water rights up to private, there is a chance, albeit a very, very small one, that somehow a legislation come in, a rule can change, a government can change, and all of a sudden, boom, you can transfer that ownership or those rights, even though they say they're not going to, into someone else. And everybody was on edge, and everybody said, look, this is really, really important. You know, here's what I think. I think that when we get to the point where we can vote online, and I think that's really, really important, vote from your home. And being an electronics technician, I know it can be done probably pretty easily. What you could do is you could put a small little chipboard inside the board that comes in from BC Hydro into your house, and then just pop a small wire through inside to your house with an RJ45 connection. So RJ45 connection, what is that? That's I don't have a computer here, but that's where you clip in the networking part of your computer, and you could vote right from there. I mean, I know it's doable, and I know that other parts of the world, they are doing voting online, but they're saying, well, there's security issues. Well, if you put a small chip inside the BC Hydro interface into your home, it's secure, it's inside the machine so nobody can tamper with it, and they bring the cable inside your home. So the only way somebody can vote using your particular address is to break into your home, find your cable, go and vote. I mean, the chances of that happening are very, very, very slim. Yeah, I don't want to break in to steal. I want to break in to vote. That wouldn't happen. So I think when we get there, in that time, then a lot of people will become interested and say vote, because apparently voting turnout is going down and down and down and down, only until you get a hot button topic like the P3. Now, I'll give you another example of QR code. Well, let me show you. It's A14. Oh yeah, right here. Look. Real Estate Weekly. You see this? New homes. There's a QR code right there. Now, next to the QR code, there's a little sign for Twitter. There's a little sign for Facebook. So small and medium businesses, if you're not using one of those three, you're really missing the boat. We're going to do podcasts specifically dedicated to why you should use social media. Those two, because those two seem to be popping up the most on everything. Twitter and Facebook. Those are the two powerhouses, right? Now, Google Plus is coming up, but it's just not there yet. So when you go and do that and put that on your marketing, on your business cards, on your website, on your blogs, it can really have a big effect on your business. So we're going to be doing that specifically in the future. How to set it up. It's really, really easy to set up. Even I'll walk you through getting that QR code generator. Isn't that fantastic? You, my friend, can put your own app on Android. Because Android is open source, and then you can send the app to your friends, and you can have an ABC or whatever you're selling in the form of an app and turn it into a QR code, and it can go to your website. How cool is that? One more thing I thought I would show you, techie, before we go, is a keyboard. See this? Looks like a snake, doesn't it? These are a rubberized keyboard, and they're the only keyboard that I will use in my broadcast studio. A, it's very, very silent. B, it doesn't have that springy tactile feeling, and it's not noisy. Noisy keyboards drive me nuts. You can buy these now for, I don't know, some places are selling them for $10, $15, $20. Head down to Staples, head down to Best Buy, and get one of these. Once you get one of these, I don't think you'll go back to a traditional keyboard, because say, for example, you are a road warrior, and you take your notebook computer out a lot, and you have a briefcase that you put your notebook computer in, much like I do. You can roll one of these up, boom, put another mouse in, like one of these mice right here, into your keyboard. When you get to where you're going, it's much more comfortable to work on your notebook computer using one of these keyboards and using a mouse dedicated, and then set your notebook away from you at a more healthier angle. So, isn't that fun? I mean, there is so much to talk about. I'm really excited about Christmas coming up, and now, how many of you are going to get the Kindle Fire tablet? The experts say that this year is going to be the year of the tablet. So whether it's iPad, whether it's Zoom, whether it's Fire. Oh, by the way, if you want to get a playbook, they're $200 now. Grab one as soon as you can. They're selling them at a loss. But another tablet to watch for. I know everybody's an Apple fanboy or fangirl, and they make a beautiful product. But a tablet to watch for is for the Zoom. You know that the Zoom came out at $799. Now they're down to $499, but what you pay for the Apple iPad 2. And it comes standard with 16 gigabytes. The machine comes with 16 gigabytes. So it's a very powerful machine. It has 2 cameras, and also you can put it on 3G, or I believe 3G and 4G. I know you can put them on one of them, and most tablets do not do that. Or there's the Kindle at $200. It's a no-brainer. I'm really interested to see How many Kindles are going to be sold this Christmas against the big guys like the Zoom and the Samsung Galaxy and the iPad 2? You know, these are the heavyweights. But let's put it this way. I was watching the Leo Laporte show the other day, and a father came on the show and said, look, for the price that you pay for an Apple iPad 2, he can get his children one of each, and he has 2 children. And there you go, one of each tablet. And they've got a beautiful infrastructure. Amazon has really done a splendid job on the support system, and they've got Netflix on it, and they're really connected with the infrastructure. So it's going to be a fascinating study in the year of the tablet. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. You can find our website at abbotsfordsmallbusiness.com. You can leave us an email at abbotsfordsmallbusiness@gmail.com, or our Magic Jack phone number is 778-800-0246. Thanks so much for coming along. We'll see you next show. Take care. Bye-bye.